Just saying.
Thank you for your feedback, Ms. Novak.
Wow.
Take it under advisement.
I know that music company. Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go.
I know, I'm sorry.
Move to come out of closed session at 8:28 p.m. pursuant to 15.268. One. Can I start again? Move to come out of closed session at 8:28 p.m. pursuant to 15.268 parentheses 1 parentheses B to consider the purchase or lease of real property up to the time an option to purchase or lease that property is obtained.
Blissfield, second here. Come out of closed session at 8:28 p.m. pursuant to section 15.268(1)(d) to consider the purchase or lease of real property up to the time an option to purchase or lease that real property is obtained. Please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes, motion carries.
I do. Yeah, there's nobody out there with the police department. All set. Great, then I'll be glad to make a motion to give our village administrator, Danielle Gross, the authority to counter offer the price as discussed in closed session. I'll support.
Motion Gwen and second Sherry to authorize village administrator Dana Gross to counter offer, to authorize Dana Gross to counter offer the price as discussed in closed session. Thank you. Lisa, call roll.
Bill,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on, new business. Anything, anybody? No? All right, we'll move on to reports. Any questions, comments on the reports?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
not so much questions, just comments. After reading through Nora and Steve's reports, I say publicly thank you to them for being on top of the problems that they've been watching, and now they're looking at resolving, and also looking forward to improved systems. And I know that one of you stated this, Mike, I think you did as well, and Sherry, during the meeting earlier when Steve was here, but just that the foresight and the vision. So thank you as well, Danielle, the whole staff in that regard. But I like the way that they add to their reports from month to month, so you can see the progression and the history and of what they're resolving. So it's very good. Thank you. Particularly Nora, with looking forward or in the future for possible reverse osmosis membranes in order to take out even more potential contaminants that are not currently required to be removed, but we all know how government needs to keep itself in a job. So, and then for Steve, he reported that he's moving the raw sampler where he currently take raw samples, is moved away from that permits freezing to occur, which would make things more difficult in the wintertime. So he's looking to move that, and so they're
On top of it.
they are on top of it, and I appreciate and echo all of the previous comments that you all have made as well.
I second the motion.
What else is that? Regarding the water treatment discussion, Nora did update us on that second valve and whatnot. Does Ryder really have a say on how we feed them, or is that up to us? Because I really think, again, we have those tower mixers.
I think
So
that
we get the options. I think it's time for us to say, you're getting the water fed from us, how we provide the water. It's sort of our decision.
it is Eagles.
Well, yes, but you know what I'm saying, but what is the question is Riga really pushing Eagle to hold off, or is Eagle being the sticklers, or, you know what I'm saying, like, who's really initiating the issue on getting this other valve switched over? Because again, we've talked about this for 4 years, it's time, that doesn't matter, I would provide that to them. And if they're getting the water at this line, it is what it is, we get to kind of determine how it's set, right?
I don't disagree that we absolutely have a say, and I can't answer you. I'm obviously not part of those conversations of who's pushing who. I do know that their engineer and ours are talking. The last update, and I think Nora put this in there, is their engineers wanting to see that information back from the consultant that they're working with. Our engineer is kind of pushing back, saying these mixers are in there, let's switch this, let's try this. Blissfield's been asking you guys for a while, so we really need Eagle on board.
What does it take to get them on board? I mean, we paid for the mixers, correct?
Yeah, our Eagle engineer is on board and is supportive and is advocating for us to make the switch. So
I don't understand.
I'm not sure.
I would love to see a meeting of all of us, both engineers in here and Riga and us, and say, let's sit down and hash this out and figure out.
I'm keeping a placeholder for April again. If they want to meet sooner, I obviously am willing to coordinate that. I forwarded you guys information. I've reached out a couple times. Natalie did respond. I don't know that I really have a commitment to meet again, but I'm gonna hold a close committee of the whole.
Can we request a meeting with both engineers and Riga
I can request that.
and say, you know, we need to make this happen? I'll talk in the same room.
Well, that's kind of where
Which we did do, by the way, without council. And so I do want you guys, we did bring Nora, Brent, Ryga, Lenawee Drain, and both engineers did meet to try to get this hashed out and find some solutions. And I think that kind of prompted this discussion further. So that, I don't want you guys to think we're not trying to do that too.
No, I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
haven't. I just know that one committee of whole, we had Riga here and they were at their tail feathers up in a ruffle and with prices and stuff.
I think I like the idea of keep a place holder there for us, and continue to be the good neighbor and keep everybody apprised. I also think Mike can make a very valid point with the mixers. Unfortunately, we'll have to keep going forward, and that's not a lot we can do until the
And
engineers.
Eagle has to approve
Everything
that change.
Until
So until
Eagles make that-
Eagle makes that determination, we are going to continue having conversations. We're gonna continue pushing back, asking for it.
But is Eagle not doing that because Riga is saying they don't want to?
I
would like
don't
to
know
be-
that.
Again, it's time to get everybody together and say, what is the whole up here, right? And I just want to know, why are the decisions being made the way they are?
When was it, Danielle, I'm probably putting you on the spot, but when was that meeting when everyone attended, their people, our people, and you?
That was the October committee of the whole, right?
No, I apologize, with,
Oh.
you're sitting with the engineers and that.
I'd have to go back and look at my
Are
calendar.
we just saying roughly
Uh,
6 months? 4
No, I think it's been probably 6 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe
So see, that was-
8,
that's
6
a
to
big one.
8 weeks.
Could not recall.
See, and I just don't understand, you know, with both of the Eagle guys, why they're not on board for the same thing, because they
What-
work for,
One Eagle's not speaking to the other Eagle in their agreement with Eagles.
and that's what I don't understand, why? Why is there such a disconnect between the two of them? For the same,
Issue,
yes,
project?
yes.
So I had a conversation with Nora about some of this. And our situation is different than Riga's situation. And because we are the supplier and they are the purchaser, they're two different engineers that are monitoring an apple and an orange. And they're not always talking about the same thing. I don't know what goes on in eagles' nests and why they're not playing together in that way. But that's part of it, is that they look at us as a different animal than Riga is viewed, and so we have different engineers for that. The other thing is,
But we're all talking about water.
I
quality
understand,
and the price.
I understand, but we're not the ones with the authority, so we're.
No, I mean, Eagle, those guys, and what are.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, it's all about water, so why is it the same? I don't know, and I don't think that she had a good answer for me for that, other than this, she was explaining this is the situation. So I don't know if it's similar to offense and defense, even though they're both playing in the same game, but they don't operate in this within the exact same parameters.
I mean, to me, it's common sense. That's what I don't get.
And the other thing is with the mixers, they're also for our benefit. My understanding is that they weren't put in our tower strictly for Riga. But they are for our benefit as well, for Blissfield's benefit, to mix that water.
Certainly, but it was also,
It benefits them down the line,
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
and so it does benefit them.
I'm not saying that it doesn't, but my understanding is the way that it's been presented here, that you guys are talking about it, we purchased those mixers for that reason.
that was not the sole,
Only.
we should have clarified that.
Yeah, okay.
It was-
And that's all
if
I'm
we
saying.
would've Put them in, had we not had the issue with Riga, it was never discussed.
Okay.
So they were given to me.
So they were,
Which
is that
would
what you're
benefit
saying?
us
they
as
were put in
well.
there solely for Riga, not for our benefit.
There was prior to me being here, but based on the conversations I've had with employees that were here and some previous employees, is Riga was having issues with their disinfectant byproducts. We put those in to help them specifically.
Okay.
Now I do think, again, my understanding is that there was maybe a recognized benefit potentially for us, but that it was really to help them. If they weren't having the issue, the project would not have proceeded.
Okay.
They're not.
But again, that's,
Time.
I was not here. I'm just telling
No, I
you what I've
understand.
been told.
I'm not looking to accuse or blame anybody for anything. I'm just trying to get information
Right.
accurate. That's all.
Well,
I mean, we just.
can we put taps on before and after the meter? I mean, put a tap on ours, maybe test there. And put it to see if Riga
So
allows us
Riga
to-
did say that they're going to start sampling after they're installing that, and that I think we're already aligned the same week we pull samples now. So, I mean, they have done some things following that meeting. And Natalie included that in the email. I forwarded that to you guys to keep you all on the loop. I actually sent it to Nora and Brent as well, but I think at this point, I know that it feels like, well, it doesn't feel, it's been a long time that we've been having this conversation, but I do think that they're starting to make some changes and we're talking, and I think the important thing is we continue having all of us at the table and keep talking and we'll get there. Because it's more than I think we had before.
Thanks. Anybody else, or other reports? Council discussion. Jerry, start with you. Tim? No. Eric?
Yeah, I do have something I want to bring up. We talked about a year ago, we approved a little over a year ago, approved the radar signs. And they've been in place for over a year now. I just looked at the reports we received a year ago this time, the first part of November, from the police chief. I was wondering if he's not here, he's already left the meeting, but if we could find out what data they have compiled over this time frame of the hot spots in the village for speeders and times, and my understanding was that they were going to use that data to begin to implement some additional patrols during those times to help enforce the speeding. I would think that we have enough data with 12 months of time. And the other question regarding that very same thing was different locations in the village. It seems to me, and granted, I traveled Lane Street and Goddess quite a bit, but I don't see them around other parts of the village. I see them on Lane Street quite often, and on North Lane Street quite often, and on 223 is a couple of different spots that have it there, but I don't see those at other locations, maybe further out towards the edge of the village.
Honestly, I haven't seen them on three, like,
So,
yeah.
We had an issue with one of them keeping the charge, so, yeah.
That-
I know where it's at. You know, they float, so wherever it's, yeah. I agree, yeah, it'd be nice to hear about that, yeah.
I know that the school traffic in the mornings and in the afternoons is very heavy leaving my side of town. I'm sure that it's just as busy on North Lane and out North Monroe.
Walnut Street, yeah. It's like hitting 500 there.
There's buses that go past my place and probably close to 50 miles an hour.
I wasn't talking about buses so much as I was,
Well, I'm talking about kids too, but there's some school buses that do that as well.
well, they have to keep up with more traffic.
I'll talk to Chief and let him
I
know.
mean, it'd be nice to start to see if there's more data and what that data is showing.
But,
It's a good discussion all around tonight.
Ben,
The German event at Fort Custer was canceled. So I don't know why it was canceled. I just was told it was canceled, so I didn't make the trip.
I do have something, my apologies. Just thank you, council, for your vote of confidence for President Pro Tem. Thank you for your kind words as well.
I've got a quick one, I know it's getting late, sorry, streetlights. And consumers, I know I brought this up in November 2024. So what do we gotta do to get these streetlights fixed that aren't working? Mainly like out from like Lightning Quick, heading out of town, and I'm sure there's plenty more, but to out towards LW or whatever it is now, but again, those lights have been out for a year now, so what do we gotta do to get consumers in here to fix our streetlights?
I can talk to,
There's an online reporting also.
If we, talk about a night shift officer, maybe, documenting, talk about a few other options, but what do we gotta do to get these things just lit? That positive that I brought up in November, and those lights are not working, so.
I think we submitted it online when we brought it up, if I remember correctly. So I can follow up with Mindy with consumers and see if she can help. She's been helpful with some other things that have come up in the past. When I reached out to her, she does community relations.
Yeah, you gotta connect each other.
Yes, and that's a fairly new connection, but we've worked on a couple of things and she's been really good so
Like
far.
the trees and stuff.
Great. Yeah, so I can reach out to her. And then if you see they should have a number on them. If you give me that, I can report the number as well, right online and submit a ticket, or anybody can. Citizens can, anybody, you just go right to consumers, there's a button that says,
That's the streetlights, like the streetlight.
it's usually on an orange tab right on the pole. Yeah, it's usually like around, give or take, depending on what you are, that's for sure.
You just go to the consumer's website.
You don't have to have the number to report it. You can also report a location and then nearest intersection. I just have found that if you have that number, it seems to be, yes, they seem to respond a little more timely. It's
So
been
you would
my
think that they would
experience.
do some sort of audit too and say, hey, this is our, you know what I mean, like, it shouldn't always be up to us, it shouldn't be up to our officers or our staff, it should be up to consumers saying, hey, audit these things, check these if they're working or not, we pay for them.
I think there's enough consumer traffic that goes by.
Yeah.
So, I know it's nitpicky, but man, it's been a year, like, they need to get on. Public, Lisa? Technically public, I guess we don't have anybody else here, so speak up. All right, committee of the whole preview. Can we do that on the next? Like the committee of the whole, can we do it like in the first meeting so that, you know what I mean? It's because it's kind of like, we have another meeting in between this, when it makes sense that committee of the whole, the first meeting of the month, like preview. You know what I'm saying? Rather than the second Monday of the month, it should be on the first meeting of the meeting.
So I actually did that, but then if I know what it is, I try to give you more notice. So it will be, I've been putting it on
Both.
both.
Okay.
Yes, I can stop doing that. I was trying to give you guys some,
Yeah.
yes, and so you could think about or get ready for whatever discussion that we're having. But if you only want
It's just
them,
because we have a meeting in between, you know, so it's kind of.
Because you know, right now, we got this, but between now and our next meeting, something else.
yeah,
You'll just carry it over to the next.
that's how I've been doing it the last, probably 4 or 5 months. Again, if you want me to change it up, I'm good with whatever you want.
You guys like, that's fine. It's kind of like, well, we have another meeting. We have a regular council meeting in between. So.
The only thing I might recommend is if you have the opportunity to talk with Danielle prior to the committee of the whole regarding the Parks and Rec program, I would advocate for that. I think that would be very helpful for our discussion. Maybe we're thinking a little bit of proactive versus getting all the information at that particular time. That would just be my recommendation. Does that make sense, Danielle?
Yeah, I don't disagree
I
with that.
think that would be helpful to everyone.
I got a feeling we're all probably on the same page with it.
I think we are, but I think it would still, if you have that opportunity, I would encourage that.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Danielle, I don't mean to beat you up. There you go. So,
I've been over here,
I'm right.
I certainly don't think, I'm just throwing something out, sorry. I don't mean to come across that way. Anybody else?
Motion to adjourn.
You want to go 10 more minutes?
You can't.
I'm sorry, I don't really am ready to adjourn too, but while we're on the committee of the whole
Yes.
subject, really quick, I don't know, I know one of you for sure noticed that I sent calendar invites for committee of the wholes. I'm not sure if the rest of you saw that. If you don't want me to do that, I don't have to. So I mentioned earlier, we have them planned out through May. So I was trying to just kind of get on your radar, like these are the things coming down the pipeline. And sometimes you guys will be like, oh, committee of the whole. And I just wanted you to know we're far out. So if that's going to jump priority or can be added to something, you guys could kind of look at that and let me know what direction you want it to go.
We can report.
So I'm trying that new, if you guys hate it, just tell me. You don't have to accept them. It's more just like an FYI. You certainly can accept them. We're just throwing it out there. Sorry.
Get the report, that's fine. I get enough invite meeting invites, so. Anyone else? Last chance. Bill, you made your motion. What is it?
Motion to adjourn now at 8:51.
Okay. Got a second?
I'll second.
Question Bill, say Sherry to adjourn 8:51 PM. Please call roll.
Gwen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Eric,
Yep.
Tim,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,